if you let him run his spread option college offense he ran at Florida, he could win games as a starting quarterback in the NFL. I said no Pro Bowls, but he can win games as a starting quarterback. So what did Josh McDaniels do as the head coach of the Denver Broncos? He took him 25th in the draft, near the bottom of the first round. And in Tim's rookie year, late in the year, he got to start 3 games. And lo and behold, one game at home against Houston, Denver was down 23-10. Tim Tebow led a rather miraculous second-half comeback to win the game 24-23. And guess what? In that game, he threw for 308 yards. The boy who can't throw threw for 308. And I said, well, you should give him a chance to play. But, of course, his GM and his coach at the time, they didn't love Tim Tebow because by that point, Josh McDaniels was out. John Elway was in. John Fox was in. So next year, when the team was a dead-in-the-water 1-4, they said, let's get this over with. Let's give him one start and get him out of our hair and out of our way. And I predicted sitting in this chair that Tim Tebow would go 7-4 the rest of the way, and everybody laughed at me. You laughed. Jay Crawford was here at that point, laughed at me. And guess what? The Denver Broncos went 7-4 the rest of the way, and they won their division. And they led the NFL in rushing because it's hard to stop Tim Tebow from running and throwing out of that spread option offense. And then my crowning achievement. First playoff game in Denver against your childhood team, your favorite team from childhood, the Pittsburgh Steelers, featuring Ben Roethlisberger at quarterback. Tim Tebow threw for 316 yards. He can't throw, but he threw for 316, including an 80-yard strike to open overtime to Demaryius Thomas. Look, there he goes. There he goes. It was the highlight of my career.
Oh.
Tim Tebow led an overtime victory in his first playoff start against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it might have been the low point of your professional career on television, I must say. So who was more right? I mean, it's over. It's like a Michael Jordan versus LeBron question. It's over. I did it. You lost.
Don't you ever say I don't love you, boy. I came back here to say goodbye to you, and you throw Tim Tebow at me. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't get much lower. It doesn't get much lower than this. Let me say this. Let me say, Skip is right about one thing. Unquestionably, the lowest point of my on-air career was Monday, January 9th of 2012. The day after Tim Tebow threw for 316 yards and the Denver Broncos beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in that game. Anybody that knows me knows. And listen, I'm not one to call off from work. I got to be really, really sick to call off from work.
That's a fact.
Right. But I will tell you this. That day, I was so depressed, so sick at the thought of sitting across from Skip. I swear to you, I was looking for every excuse in the book not to show up on the air the next day because I was that disgusted. He got me there. But that's about the only thing, Molly. Because you see, I never disputed Skip's proclamations. And I never laughed at Skip when he talked about how Tim Tebow could potentially win games. What I laughed at was the notion that he was going to do it being a quarterback, actually throwing the football. Now,
details.
Now, if you recall, it's very, very important details, Molly. Let's look at this for a quick second here. Because, we got a bunch of producers in there that are a bunch of wusses when it comes to Skip Bayless. I mean, they'll sit up there and they'll cover him. That's right, I said it. When it used to say, they will protect Skip on this Tim Tebow thing. That's right, Antoine and Brian and Kevin, all of yous. They loved Tim Tebow, loved Skip talking about Tim Tebow. They had a blast laughing at me because they knew how torturous it was, Molly. So that's why I called them all out with him. They're all in it together. All of them. Okay? You see what they're doing? You see what they're doing? This is what they did. This is what they do to me. This is what they do to me. I promise you, you won't hear that after today. I promise you that. Here's the deal. If you remember, Molly, when we were talking about Aaron Rodgers, and we were talking about 60% completion of his passes, Skip was like, oh, Lord, whatever. Well, let's go down and list that particular season. Tim Tebow, 40% completions, 48, 46, 47. 25% of his passes. He beat Kansas City one game 17-10. He completed 2 passes.
Wait, what did you say? When he beat Kansas City?
That's right.
When he beat Kansas City. So what's the object of the game?
Wait a minute.
To win.
No. But that's not the objective of this debate.
No.
This debate is about my point.
Okay.
He can't throw.
Oh, okay.
That's all I ever said. I never said he was a loser. I never said he didn't have intangibles. I never once said he didn't belong in an NFL uniform, that he couldn't make a contribution to the team. A matter of fact, I was on the record believing he got railroaded in New York playing for Rex Ryan. Okay? What I said, I don't know about Jay Crawford. I don't know about all these other people. Me, I'm accountable for me. I said, the boy can't throw. I'm sorry. The man can't throw. He can't throw. And since that following season in New York, the man can't get a job. Got cut by the New England Patriots, can't get a look from anywhere else. Jacksonville didn't want any parts of him, and he was down there playing in Florida. This man can't throw. I wish him nothing but the best. I think you messed up his career because of how much you loved him and how much you bloviated about him. But it is your fault what happened to him. It is your fault.
I did it.
You were the secondary fault. The primary fault was the fact he can't throw, and he wants to be a quarterback. That's the point. There is no doubt that I am more right than you. There is no doubt that I was right on the money because I always proclaimed he couldn't throw, and he has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt he can't throw.
Sure.
Help me out.
That's what it is.
During that run in which he went 7-4,
said he couldn't throw.
Can I please
Go ahead.
Sure.
During his 7-4 run, his second year in the league, first time as a starter, in the last 5 minutes of NFL games that year, help me out here.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow's QBR was #1 in the NFL. Does it take into account being able to throw under pressure when it matters most?
Not that I know of. Not that I know
I know why it's your favorite stat.
#1. He was #1 in the NFL in the last 5 minutes of games. Do you know why? Because when the pressure mounted, he threw it very accurately.
Wait a minute. You're leaving.
No.
But I got love for you.
I'm
not going to do this to you. I'm not going to do this to you. I'm not going to let you walk out the door with this as your lasting memory. You don't want to do that. I'm being a friend here. Let it go.
I'm proud of it.
John Legend, the great John Legend, came on this show and sang, "Let it go." Skip, won't you let it go? That's what he said. That's what he said. John Legend came to Bristol, Connecticut to say to you about how you needed to let this go. Listen to the man.
So I got
Listen to him.
one last comment.
Sure.
Someday, 20, 30, 50 years from now, somebody's going to look at those stats, those numbers that Tim Tebow compiled during his 7-4 season, and they're going to say,
wait a second, now. They ain't going to remember him in 50 years from now.
Wait a second. How did that guy not get another chance after he led a team to a division title?
I promise you.
I think there's going to be an uproar. A lot of people are going to be
promise you, if Skip hadn't brought it up, nobody would have thought about Tim Tebow now.
All right, we retired it. We're done. We're done with it. But we're going to continue. Oh, yeah, we're done over here. To take a walk down memory lane here with Skip Bayless. It was a little over a year ago when he rocked the money team swag after Floyd Mayweather's win over Manny Pacquiao. Will we ever see a rematch of boxing's mega fight? That discussion is next.